Tell me something. Why do you keep trying to hold on to someone who doesn't want to stay? Why do you insist on chasing someone who doesn't choose you every single day? Have you ever stopped to think that by doing this, you are giving away your power, your peace, your happiness to someone who isn't always willing to give it? I know how it feels. You get emotionally involved, invest time, care, attention, and yet the person seems distant, cold, as if they are always one step ahead, leaving you running after them without ever really catching up. And still you keep trying. But why? Is it real love, or just fear of being alone, fear of feeling empty, fear of losing someone who, deep down, is already drifting away? Have you ever asked yourself if you're confusing attachment with love, neediness with the desire to have someone by your side, even if that person doesn't fully want to be there with you? It's painful to admit, but many times we find ourselves trapped in relationships that make us question our own worth. We catch ourselves justifying behaviors that clearly hurt us, trying to understand every absence, every silence, every cold or distant word, and yet we continue. We continue because we want to believe that if we try hard enough, if we give enough, if we show how much we love, the person will finally realize how valuable we are. But the truth is harsh. True love doesn't work that way. Someone who truly wants you chooses to stay because they want to. They choose to be by your side without you having to beg, without you having to plead for attention or affection. Someone who loves you doesn't leave you in doubt. Someone who wants you stays, and someone who doesn't won't, no matter how much you plead, insist, or sacrifice. Have you noticed how many times you've changed your routine, your preferences, your opinions, just to please someone who deep down wasn't interested in you? How many times have you stopped doing things you love, stopped prioritizing your friends, your family, your own well-being, just to try to capture the attention of someone who wasn't willing to give you even a bit of priority? And yet you keep trying. You keep chasing someone, hoping something will change, hoping that suddenly they will start valuing you the way they should have from the beginning. But none of that happens, because you can't change someone who doesn't want to change. You can't convince someone to love you, and you can't hold on to someone who has decided to leave. When you finally realize this, when you admit that you are trying to hold on to someone who doesn't want to stay, a mixture of sadness, frustration, and anger comes over you. Sadness for realizing the time wasted, frustration for having invested so much in someone who didn't deserve it, and anger, especially anger at yourself, for allowing it to happen. But that anger shouldn't be destructive. It should be a signal, an alert that you need to put yourself first, that you need to recognize your own value before trying to find value in someone else. Because the problem was never you. The problem was always the person who didn't want to be with you, who didn't choose you, who didn't value the love you were giving wholeheartedly. Many times, we continue trying to hold on to someone who doesn't want to stay out of fear of being alone. The fear of being alone leads us to accept emotional crumbs, to settle for little, to believe that any attention is better than none. But that's an illusion. Solitude, when lived well, is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, to understand what you truly want and deserve. And when you reconnect with yourself, you realize that the person who ignores you, who shows no genuine interest, who doesn't choose you, doesn't deserve the space you occupy in their life. You realize that loving yourself is more important than trying to win over someone who doesn't want to be won over. And here is where the question of worth comes in. You deserve someone who stays without you having to beg, who chooses you every day, who is present not out of obligation, but out of genuine desire. You deserve love that doesn't confuse you, that doesn't make you doubt yourself, that doesn't make you feel less than you are. You deserve someone who sees your worth, who recognizes your dedication, who wants to be by your side because they truly love you, not because it's convenient or because you beg for attention. When you finally understand this, you start noticing the signs you used to ignore. Subtle but clear signs that someone isn't committed to you, that silence that hurts, promises not kept, absence in important moments, lack of real interest in your life, your feelings, your dreams. These signs are not accidents. They are messages life is sending you, telling you that it's time to stop chasing someone who doesn't want to stay. And the more you ignore these signs, the more time and energy you waste trying to hold on to someone who has already decided to leave. It's not easy to accept this. It's painful to look at someone you love and realize that the love is not reciprocated in the same way. It's painful to feel that all your effort, all your care, all your dedication was in vain. But that pain is necessary. It's the turning point. The moment when you finally realize that you deserve more, that you don't need to beg for love, that your value doesn't depend on someone else's choice. Pain teaches, pain transforms, pain opens space for something better to enter your life. Someone who truly wants to stay, someone who chooses you, someone who truly loves you. While you cling to someone who doesn't want to stay, you also lose the opportunity to know yourself better, to love yourself fully, to live experiences that truly help you grow. You lose moments of joy, genuine laughter, real connections with people who would be willing to give you attention and love without you having to beg. You lose the chance to build something real because you are trapped in an illusion, a love that doesn't exist the way you imagine. The question that should guide your thoughts from now on is, why do you keep trying to hold on to someone who doesn't want to stay? Why do you insist on investing in someone who doesn't value your presence? Why do you give your heart to someone who isn't willing to care for it in the same way? When you ask yourself these questions honestly, you start to realize that the answer isn't in the other person, it's in you. The answer lies in your fear, in your insecurity, in your need for external validation. The answer lies in realizing that you need to love yourself more than you love someone who doesn't choose you. Loving yourself is not selfish. Loving yourself is recognizing that you deserve respect, care, and attention. It's understanding that you don't need to shrink, you don't need to beg, you don't need to become smaller to fit into the life of someone who doesn't want to be there. It's realizing that your worth is non-negotiable, that you are deserving of love that elevates you, that inspires you, that makes you feel safe and happy. When you internalize this, everything changes. You start to free yourself from the need to try to convince someone to stay. You start realizing that someone's presence in your life should be natural, light, genuine, not the result of manipulation, guilt, or insistence. You start feeling complete on your own, and it is precisely this completeness that attracts people who truly want to be by your side. People who see your worth, who appreciate who you are, who choose to be with you because they want to, not because they need to. And the most liberating thing is this: when you stop trying to hold on to someone who doesn't want to stay, you open space for true love to enter. Love that doesn't confuse you, that doesn't hurt you, that doesn't make you doubt your value. Love that is constant, safe, reciprocal. Love that chooses you every day without you having to beg. And it is then that you realize all that you went through, all the pain, all the frustration, all the wasted effort was just preparation. Preparation to recognize who truly deserves to be in your life. So if today you are clinging to someone who doesn't want to stay, stop, breathe, look inside yourself and ask, do I deserve this? Do I deserve to be with someone who values me, who chooses me, who truly loves me? And when the answer comes, and it always comes, you'll realize that the right person doesn't demand constant struggle, doesn't ask for begging, doesn't make you doubt your own worth. Someone who truly wants you stays. Someone who truly loves you chooses you. And someone who doesn't stay was never really yours. Stop chasing someone who doesn't want to be with you. Start running toward yourself. Start choosing yourself. Love yourself so fiercely that anyone who comes into your life has to want to stay, not because you beg, but because they see how amazing, strong, and worthy of love you are. And gradually, you will see that you not only deserve it, but you will find someone who stays by your side without you having to beg, without you having to plead for attention, care, or love. Someone who stays simply because they want to, because they love, because they choose you every day. That is the power of valuing yourself. That is the power of stopping the attempt to hold on to someone who doesn't want to stay. That is the path to a healthy, reciprocal, and true love. Because in the end, you never needed to beg. You just needed to realize that you deserve to be chosen, loved, and valued. And when you finally understand that, no one will make you doubt your worth, because you will know exactly who deserves your attention and your heart.